Ah, good morning, Simon. Or good afternoon. How are you doing this morning? I missed your show last night. Um, man, I got sleepy and actually went to bed on time and early, so I ended up missing. I think it was on you and Fender Guru's show was on Eric Clapton's Unplugged, I think, which was a great album. I can't figure out what to do here. Am I coming through okay and can you see me? Oh, good. Yeah, I had nothing going on back in August and September, July, August, so I thought, well, I'll just noodle around on some Christmas tunes and have them ready to go. So that's kind of what I did. So I better change the lighting here so I can see things better. No idea what I'm going to. Ow. A little better. Yeah, and how are things over your way? Is all heck breaking loose still, or? I can't. I have a big StreamYard thing in front of the camera here, so. Oh, you can see me. Okay. Oh, good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm running it on my phone as well, just to see what it looks like. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm running it on my phone as well. Oh, got to turn that volume down just to see what it looks like. There we go. Oh yeah, the picture's better than usual. Arvin, hello. It's all the usual suspects here. I'm stealing everybody from Andrew's stream. I'm playing an old, I don't remember even what year. I think this is a 2007 made in Mexico Strat, and it's just great. And you can see a reflection there. I I can't quite. It looks like I really gouged it up here on top. It was just in brand new condition. And I'm playing this one more and more lately because it plays every bit. It plays as good. You blindfold me, I couldn't tell you the difference between this one and oh, you're off the leash again. Okay. Yeah, we're not. We're not. We're really in something. All heck is broken loose here for some reason. But anyway, on this one, I've somehow you can just see there are some scratches on top. A number of them, and I don't know. Man, I don't know. I've been so careful with this. Yeah, I remember we were alarmed that we were having 200 cases a day, and then it shot up to 400 cases. I mean, Oregon's real small, 4 million people total in the whole state, and then it went to 400, and we said, "Wow, man alive!" Now it's 1,500 a day, new cases. Oh dear, really? Yeah, I really did everything online. I finished up the other day. I did everything online this year, so I must have a different tone. I love the distortion in the mix. Squire, how are you? Man, you're up early too. How are things down there? How's your fire situation down there, Squire? Are you in that area? I saw Nelson Rodriguez the other day posted a short video of the fire. Was like it looked like it was like 3 blocks away from his house or something. So uh, it did not look so good. Oh, there we go. I always go to Samba 1 when I want clean. And Arvin, remind me, you're up in Canada? Oh, Squier, you're in San Diego, so you're somewhere down there pretty close to all that. I quit thinking about it because, of course, up here in Oregon, we get the heavy rains in November, and so all our fires pretty much got put out. So I was thinking, oh, great. And then I started hearing just recently about that California's still having troubles with the fires. So. I'm going to do a little test here. I can oh, that's easy. And I clicked off it, everything went away so I can see. Yeah, I have a terrible camera setup. That little Logitech, I got it, opened it up, and immediately dropped it on the floor and broke the little hinge that fits over the laptop. And so I have it hooked to a tripod that's duct taped to the back of the computer. So okay. Yeah, I did a video on this one. This is a made in Mexico one. I was just saying, I just somehow, I don't know what I just did. I had it out here. These scratches were not there the other day. And I mean, it's really in brand new. I've not played it that much. When I bought it, I loved it. Hey, Gypsy, how are you? Chicago is in the house. Tiny Dragon. Oh, yeah, do. Yeah, I left my coffee downstairs, so. I got one cup in though, so yeah. Tiny enjoyed your show with Laurie's Mishhmosh. I went ahead and played just to kind of be supportive, and I thought, well, I never win anything, so I'm safe. And yeah, I just reliced my guitar, and it's a shame. I'm going to try to buff that out maybe later or something. This is one of those ones where I tried it in the store. It sounded great. I brought it home, and it just never hit home with me. And I did the video on it. I think if you watch the video on the 2007 made in Mexico, I think 2007 Stratocaster, I don't give it high marks except playability. It plays just like my American Deluxe. I mean, it's just, I could not tell the difference between this and that. But the sound was always not quite there. And of course, I don't play out live anymore, so I hadn't really put it through anything. And in the store, I was putting it through, I don't know what, a Blues Junior or a Blues Deluxe or something like that. Sounded great. And so I finally plugged it into something different, and it was like, wow, it came alive. And I got the Pod Go, so that's a big help. So, Sonia, how are you? How is Texas this morning? And Tiny, you're in, I want to say Tennessee. Squier's in San Diego. Andrew is in Bristol. And Arvin is in oh, you're in West Mill. Good morning and welcome. You're in West Cork in Ireland. Is that correct? I thought you were in Canada. Can I recommend? I cannot, Gypsy. To me, it's very hit and miss. I don't have any. I mean, I want to play them live in the store, which is kind of tough these days. If I was buying a made in Mexico, I would probably buy used. The new Players series are $6.99, and the problem I have is I went and looked at them a few weeks ago, and they're using Palo Ferro fretboards now instead of rosewood. And one was very light red, like Indian rosewood, very light red colored, and another one was sort of in between color, and another one was dark, even though it was all Palo Ferro. There was a huge variation in the fretboards, and I'm finding I'm not liking Palo Ferro, I think, because it's oh, you have a made in Mexico Hendrix, but it's tough. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I've got a bunch of made in Mexico ones, and I like them all for various, and none of them are the same. They all have slightly different tonality. And that's what I was saying with this one. It just didn't, in the store it sounded great. When I got home, it just never hit home with me until I went and plugged it into, my only tube amps these days are a little Champ XD, I think it's called, a couple of those, the head and the combo. And when I finally plugged it into that, then it came alive and really sounded great. And a Vox AC10, which really, I'm a big Vox fan. It sounded great. And Mill, you're also, I believe, a bass player. Am I correct? You got a 50s lacquer telly. Wow. Nitro. Yeah. Cool. Sometime, Mel, I don't know how to do, I don't have good enough internet. This is about as clear as I've been. I've turned every other thing off in the house so I can have a halfway decent clear picture. And used to do sessions as a bassist. That's what I was thinking, yeah. And you were with a Canadian band at one point, as I recall. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but. I keep playing that song. That's a cool song. It's if you're not familiar with the singer-songwriter, even though I play mostly blues and jazzy, well, I'm not really a jazz player. I'm a blues rock guy who does jazzy stuff. But I do like the sort of singer-songwriter tradition, especially that comes out of Sonia's area, Texas and Oklahoma. And a fella down there has been around for. Your telly is a CV. Tell me what that means. I don't know what a CV. What is that? And you tell me, and in the meanwhile, I'll finish up. Anyway, I like the singer-songwriter stuff out of Texas, the Towns Van Zandt kind of stuff. One guy down there that just made one album, I think, named Willis Allen Ramsey. And Sonia, I hope you know who he is. If you don't, you should look him up. But he wrote a song called Angel Eyes. He wrote, you would know his song, which is overplayed in was made into a pop 40 hit. Muskrat Love, he wrote that, but the way he does it is more in the, it's more a folky tradition kind of thing. Ah, there we go, Mel. Thank you. I didn't want to out you in case you didn't want to talk about it. Mel played with a band from the 60s called the Poppers, and when I was a young lad here in Oregon, my drummer picked up a Poppers album, and we found a number of songs on it that we really liked, and we stole them. And we did odd songs that either hadn't come out yet or weren't that well known or anything, and people thought we wrote our own material back then and loved it. It was great. And Mel was the bass player in the Poppers with a guy named Adam, Mel, correct me, Adam Mitchell, who I thought for years was married to Joni Mitchell somehow or something. We had lots of misinformation back then. And in Triumph as well. Got fired from Triumph. Yeah, that was a heck of a band. Man, those guys were... Triumph was a... If you're not familiar with Triumph, they were one of the early three-piece bands. And we had a three-piece, so we tried to do lots of three-piece stuff. Yeah, the Poppers were quite... I think they... Janice, good morning. Angel Eyes. I don't know if Jeff Healey did that or not. I could see him taking it and turning it into like a lap steel. Almost a bluesy number. If you like the singer-songwriter tradition and you don't have Willis Allen Ramsey's album, you need to get them. Adam lived with Linda Ronstadt for a couple of years. Oh, okay, I did not know that. A big Linda Ronstadt fan. My drummer's older brother was a studio cat in L.A., and then he was playing clubs in Phoenix in the 60s, and the drummer's name was Gary Berghoff, a.k.a. Radar O'Reilly. I think he quit right before Don joined. And then the lead singer was Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. And then he got snagged out of that band by a fellow by the name of Don Grady, who was from My Three Sons, who was also a drummer. And Don Grady started a band called the Yellow Balloons, so he played in that band. And he knew Linda Ronstadt, and as I recall, Linda Ronstadt's mom would invite him over for soup and sandwich or something every day, or something. Not every day, but often. I missed some comments here somewhere. Mel, you're going to have some new stuff out? Okay, that's good. Matt Dennis wrote Angel Eyes? Really? Huh, interesting. I maybe just assumed that all the songs on Willis Allen Ramsey's album were written by him. I'm pretty sure most of them were. Andy Dion, sir, good morning. It's got great, I'm weird about chords. I just love chord structure. And it's a real simple song. And then he always does a... But the middle part goes like a D, E flat, minor 7th, sharp 5. Then a D flat minor, flat 5. I think that's what I said, to a C minor 7th. I just thought that was an interesting thing. Paul Lou, good morning, sir. I just saw you had a new video out, and I meant to get over and watch it, and I did not get there. So I'm going to do that today sometime. And you've been putting out, you did a couple country kind of electric country things with your telly that I really loved. I was Oh, I did not know that, Gypsy. Wow. I did not hear. See, we don't get that stuff in the news like we should. I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't think I ever, I don't know if, was he a musician? I'm not familiar with him. Gabriel Tone, how are you this morning, sir? Good to see you. Well, his dad was the a police chief in Tucson. I'll be darned, I did not know that. So Squier CV is that's a brand name. And Charlie Pride, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Um, my dad was an upright jazz player in his youth, and we had no country music in the house at all. So growing up, I was not exposed. And I probably got exposed. We moved when I was, I don't know, second grade, third grade, out of town a little bit, and across the street were some folks, some real nice folks from Oklahoma. One of which is now my sister-in-law. And but the dad over there, Daryl, loved to watch Hee Haw and that sort of thing. So when I would go over to visit, Hee Haw was on, and I started noticing, Don Rich and Roy Clark and the likes. And so that was kind of my exposure. Then my drummer at the time, my drummer friend since seventh grade, he really liked Buck Owens and all that kind of stuff. And so I kind of got exposed to that country. I don't play it, and that real fast Albert Lee, man, if I had a pinch of Albert Lee in me, I would be really happy. So yeah, I saw Charlie Pride back in the early days when he first came out, not on TV, and that was a pretty big thing. So there hadn't been an African American that had broke into the country scene just yet that was really big. So, and he was good. Oh, the classic vibe Squier CV. Oh, okay, gotcha. I haven't played Squiers. I had a Squier years ago. It was I don't remember, Jaguar or a Jazzmaster, and it was good. It played really well. I gave it away to a relative who was getting back to playing or getting to start playing. ElectricGypsy Blues. If nobody has seen, Sweetwater put out a video yesterday with Doyle Dykes, kind of a Christmas video. And Doyle Dykes was a guitar player, a backup guitar player. I think he was like the musical director, helped with that on Hee Haw way back when he was really quite young. But he also played with Grandpa Jones. And if you've not seen, if you like the likes of Tommy Emmanuel and Chet Atkins, go watch Doyle Dykes' Christmas show on Sweetwater. It's about 45 minutes long. And he's kind of showcasing Guild guitars, which I'm a big fan of. You heard a train around my neighborhood, Tiny. You heard a train, yes. There's I'm kind of outside of Salem, south of Salem and north of a little town called Albany. And there's just huge train yards around that town. So they're always coming north or going south. And in fact, I have train tracks where they go through twice a day. Yes, Charlie Pride passed away yesterday from complications of COVID, unfortunately. So Paul, you played the classic vibe but weren't crazy about the pickups. Yeah, I I never knew. I know they had back in the day different levels of Squiers. And early on, the Squiers, I mean, if you put out guitars that aren't good, you spoil me for life, and I won't play them. And yeah, I have tracks right in front of me that that go through twice, usually about midnight and 2 a.m. if on some nights, but usually earlier. So it's not. You get used to it. But yeah, so the early Squiers weren't that good, and I just like, okay, I'm not going to do Squires. So I kind of get it's very hard for me to get turned back around and take a look at them again. I have played them, and in fact, like I said, that one that I had was really quite good. You've got cattle all around you. Oh, cool. Yeah. We have to the west of me, there's one of those huge cattle. I don't know if it's a meat processing or a dairy or what, but they have hundreds of cows, and you drive by there, and sometimes the wind's blowing the wrong way. And oh, I have a Squier bass. I mean to show that sometime. It's a Squier bass that some kid turned into a Fender, a Jaguar bass, short scale, and the kid put some up high end pickups in it that he liked that for $200, and then it was time to save for college, and he just sold it for 100. I bought it. I grabbed it right away. Bought it for $150 with the gig bag and the original pickups. So I have a train whistle. I need to bring that over, and it needed help. Gosh, I wish I had mine out right now. Uh, Mine is, I don't know if he did some work on it or not, but it plays really really good. I I would hesitate to say if it played as good as an American. I'm not sure the fretwork's there, but it's pretty close, I think. Certainly as good as most of the Mexican. I had a made in Mexico jazz bass. And Tiny, you're a brave person. You play full scales, full. I'm a short scale guy. I was even in high school. I did buy a Mustang. I have a Mustang bass that I bought a few years because that's primarily what I played as a kid. Not well, that and others, but um, and so I'm big on the short scale. So I always questioned if I didn't have arthritis going even back. I would play my older brother's jazz bass, and my my left hand fingers would be crippled for a while. Pick up upgrade, Sonia. Yeah, yeah, Squire. I'm that way too. Too much skeet shooting and hunting, and they tell me I don't have much hearing in the higher. And they say, and that's why you can't hear birds. And I always say, I hear birds all the time, but there's probably some birds I can't hear. Short scale feels horrible. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just kind of what I mean, my basses as a kid were a Clyra bass made in Germany. Was a hollow body. It was a Beetle bass, and but it was an actual hollow body as opposed to a Hofner, which is chambered. So when we did that psychedelic stuff, I could get feedback on demand. No, no, I'm not a vegan. I try to eat vegetarian a few days each week, but we keep it simple. I always say I could become a vegetarian, but do not mess with my seafood. Tiny, you may have a really good point there. The one complaint that my bandmates made of me was that I really was mostly playing lead on bass. I did get carried away. I was heavily influenced. Well, my influences in the early days were, besides my brother, and my drummer's brother was a studio bass player. EKO bass, really? Yes, yeah. And those were they made in Italy? There's such interplay between some of those because they made them under other names too. So I think the Clyra was a German made. It was really well made bass. I don't know how or why they. I'm assuming they went out of business. Yeah. So in my youth, it was a Clyra. My first bass was a Framus Strato bass, solid body, short scale, very thin, very Hofnerish thin neck. Yeah. Explosions and gunfire. Wow, I'm sorry, Paul. Wow. Yeah, I'm tone challenged when it comes to lead guitar. I mean, I on that E band, I play stuff in the mix and I think, man, that sounds pretty good. And then I turn the backing track off and I think, oh gosh, that's terrible. Italian hollow bodies. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't aim towards the amp. As soon as I aimed towards the amp, it started howling on whatever note. It would just start taking off and going. But we started doing psychedelic stuff in the late 60s, so it worked out just fine. We could. About half of what I do is, based off bass runs that I used to do. You know. George, good morning. Welcome. I'm looking for a really good song to do. I've been doing real melodic sort of show and tells. Hey, Boomer, how you doing? We're talking basses as much as anything this morning. So the four basses I have now are the cheap import Hofner Beetle bass. I'd like a club bass. Used to play bass with the old Silvertone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, back in the 60s, you'd see all sorts of odd things at pawn shops. You'd see six-string guitars where they put bass strings on it and made it a six-string bass and did nothing to the nut. It was pretty rough at times. So. Yeah, so I have one of those import Hofner ones. I had an earlier one, and the electronics went bad within about a year out down the road. And this one's held up really well. And I've got the Fender Mustang. I've got the Squier Jaguar short scale bass, and I've got that little Gretsch student bass that I love. That thing I love, man. Yeah, it's. I would love to have one of the new ones with two pickups. You'd really offer a lot more tone. Laurie, good morning. Well, get the coffee and get going. I forgot my coffee downstairs. I already had one cup, so I'm good. So, Laurie, I'm getting ready to do Walk Away Renee chord. I'll screw up one more chord video. I always, every time I do videos, I always say, and now play the B flat minor seventh. And of course, I'm playing a B minor seventh or something, so I have to put in a little tag in there saying, no, no, no. A 96 P bass, yeah. Yeah, I've got, I don't know if they were, you know, my favorite made in Mexico Strat that I have is a 94. And that thing just, I don't know, it feels, and to my memory, it feels like my 62, my actual 62 Strat that I had, so. Yeah, so I don't know if they were doing something back in 94 or not, but back in the mid 90s. Nelson, good morning. I was talking to Squier. He's down, I think, south of you. But how's your fire situation? I didn't. I asked you in one of the other chats the other day, and I got distracted and didn't see if he answered or not. But Tiny, the hat is a Fender one. Yeah, I'm a man of many hats. I've worn hats since since I started going bald, since I first got sunburned on the back of my head. Yeah, Nelson, tell us, are you in a safe situation there, California? Yeah, you don't realize how old you're getting because if you've got, you know, if you have American stuff that's made in the 90s, man, that's 25 years old, you know. It's getting up there to yeah, that's what I was saying, Tiny. Yeah. You know, we got the rain here in Oregon and put all our fires out and the smoke cleared out, and so I assumed everything was better. Of course, Southern California got none of that. So as of a week ago, they were still fighting. Yeah, it's been a rough year all around. Gabriel, you buy strictly American? Yeah, I've got American. I still got a couple of tellies to go. I got a Korean telly. I think with I don't know why I don't play it. It's a great guitar. I think with humbuckers, and I've got an American telly also that I still have to do a show and tell on. It's good. Oh, you got chopper support. Oh, very good. Yeah. Boy, you just need a good heavy duty rain. Yeah, Sonia, that's the deal with solid body guitars. It's not like they're gonna, you know, go too bad, unless it's just got a really bad neck on it. Yeah, yeah, we hope not, Laurie. Yeah. Yeah, Mel. Yeah, I bought my oldest brother's 62 Strat from him when he went in the service, probably 65 for 100 and a quarter, and played it till 1970 and sold it for 150. So, yeah. And I had hollow body Gibsons and Guilds because I did a lot of folky. Ah, yeah, I can look back at all those old guitars. I had a 68 Jaguar. I had a lot of Guilds from back then. The big John Denver hollow body. That was a beautiful guitar. The F series, F50, I think it was called. And Doyle Dykes is playing the new versions of the Guilds. I don't know what they're made by Cordoba. You got 150 Canadian. How are you? And Mickey, you're down south there also. I hope all the fire situation is doing okay down your way too. Yeah, so I mean, lots of regrets looking back, but I don't mind. I don't care. I mean, the 62 Strat from my brother, he bought it in early 63. We know it was a 62 because it had been sitting out there on the shelf. And my other brother was the bass player. They both had a band. And he bought a matching jazz bass that we know was a 62. They bought them, according to my oldest brother, they bought them in February of 63, and they had been sitting on the shelf for a while, and so we know it was at least a 62. And that thing, by the time I got it, it was already showing fret wear, and by the time I got rid of it, the frets were just even with the fretboard. It was like playing a fretless. And I don't think he bent that much. I don't think he did a lot of because they played Pop 40. We all played Pop 40, but I mean they played a lot of pipeline-ish kind of. They did way more than just surf. They did a lot of different stuff. But so they must have had soft frets. I mean, for that to last 8 years. Was my older brother named Daryl? No, I'm not. I'm not following you. No, it wasn't. Anyway. Oh, a Newhart reference. Yeah. Okay. I remember that. This is my brother. I don't remember now. He had, there was two Daryls or something, I think. Yeah, Gabriel, interesting idea there, I think. Yeah, and I've never bought in fully to the idea of the whole vintage thing. I had, what did I have? I had old Gibson hollow bodies, and if you want to get worried, buy some old hollow bodies from the 40s and 50s. You can't go to the beach. You have to stay home and watch them. But I had a 40. What did I have? I don't remember now. A 48 L50 and a 50. I want to say a 52 ES 150, and then a later 57 125. I think. Yeah, my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl. Yeah, I have big memories of that. Yeah. Yeah, so I was just kind of blessed. My two older brothers had a rock and roll band, so I got to learn bass and guitar kind of at the same time. Oh, the other one was his name was Larry. Okay. Walk away, Renee. I need to freshen up, but of course I know no lyrics because I just so not lyrical. I have to work on it. Yes, Janice. Oh, I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name, person. I want to say Azamat, but I can't tell. Is that Ukrainian or I can't tell letters very well. Greek, perhaps. I think I just lost my chat. Britton Russell goes out for Irish pies only sometimes. Too bad Giffordson isn't open on Sunday. The Boston Egg. You got me on that one. trying to figure out a finger picking way to do it, and I thought, well, that's easy. The chords aren't all that hard, much harder than I imagined. So. Bucklester, good morning and welcome. Bucklester, Laurie's Mishhmosh and I did a version of Walk Away Renee, and while working on that, I went around and watched, and I don't know if it was you or somebody, but somebody else recommended that version by that band, and I watched it on YouTube. So yeah, and it was those guys are rock solid. Those guys were rock solid. I think they'd have probably gotten more gigs with a different name, maybe. Yeah, Walk Away Renee is a good stuff. Thank you, Arvin. Yeah, I love chord structure and chord, and my drummer's older brother he was a bass player doing studio work, but in fact, when he started out, he was a guitar player, so he understood chord theory. And he just one time kind of mentioned, he said, if you're going to be a good bass player, you really need to know chord theory. And probably the single most helpful bit of information I ever got to know the difference between a major seventh and a dominant, that sort of thing. Anyway, but the guy who knows chords here on YouTube is Dave's Guitar Channel. That guy knows. I always say, yeah, I feel like I know quite a bit about chord theory and chord stuff, and I know some stuff, but Dave Levine over there, if I'm saying his name correctly, I think, he knows about 10 times more about chords than I do. So he's always coming up with some interesting chord that makes me think, what's the structure there? Yeah, Janice, I think that's okay. A lot of what you do is kind of, I hope you agree with this. If I'm wrong, please tell us. But the stuff you do is more in that sort of singer-songwriter vein. And, there's lots of that good stuff out there from that, I was talking about Willis Allen Ramsey and Townes Van Zandt earlier, and they didn't play lead, and they didn't play rock and roll. There was always yeah, I always learned. I did a folk gig back, so I learned a lot of that. I can't. Now I'm gonna screw it. Dave Byron, good point. That guy knows a lot too. He's really well thought out. I enjoy when he does his live, puts his phone up and just shows us while he's playing live. I think that's really that's pretty fun. He's a mean he's a mean shredder on one hand. On the other hand, he's got some classical knowledge that he brings to the table that's really nice at times. And he does some nylon string stuff once in a while that's pretty cool. I think it's nylon, but Mark, what Santa songs are you talking about? I am a fool for Christmas music. Dave's a teacher, or we're talking about two Daves, Dave Byron and Dave Levine. Yeah, Dave Levine teaches also, and he does his little videos. His are way better than mine and more focused. But he does his videos on how to play a song that are really good. So yeah, yeah, they're. I watch a guy who does. He's like I think a high school music teacher. His name is Plus Florentin Tise, Tise plus, and he plays classical guitar primarily, and I think he's a high school teacher, but he's always coming up with teaching stuff, and he's doing Christmas songs now in a very simple. Uh, oh, Laurie, you got another one up tonight with Mark? Did I miss one? Which one did you do with Mark? You watched Elf yesterday. Yeah. I watched a 1955 television version of Miracle on 34th Street that was 45 minutes long. It was made for television back in 1955. It was really well done. And I we have movie night, so we watched the Santa Claus the movie, and I thought it could have been better. Not my favorite. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Yes, indeed. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I commented that I was lucky enough as a kid I got to see the Doors twice. Yeah. Yeah. Both times I could tell that Morrison was loaded, but the guy never missed. He was very fluid in what he did, and he never missed a beat. The whole band never, they were just spot on. And I think we forget about the rest of the band. Those guys were really, for a three-piece band, they were really something, and I think they were really good. Um, but Morrison would not stick to the lyrics. He would come up with alternative lyrics, and they were every bit as good as the original lyrics. I mean, he was very creative that way. I don't think he was the great poet that some claim he was, but no, no, not when I saw him. He did the songs, he sang, did a fair amount of talking. I don't remember what he talked about. He did a fair amount of talking, but and kind of talking in the sense that he was kind of doing almost poetry, kind of, and sometimes even in between songs, and it would lead into the next song, and done really well. I could just see even from off stage being down in front, I could just see his eyes were really glassy, so I knew something was up. Yeah. What song is that, Laurie, that you're talking about? Yeah, Arvin, he was really good at that bass thing that he did. I mean, I always thought, a real bass player sounded, and I think they brought in a real bass player for their second or third album. I don't remember, but he made that work live. Yeah, it was a little bass foot pedal thing that he had, because we didn't have keyboards back then that were any good. Ah, the fretless, cool. I had a Yamaha fretless years ago, and I got rid of it. With steel strings on a fretless, I ground the fretboard down because I would be bending on it, and those steel strings. On my upright fretless, I have nylon strings, so I think I'm safe there. Ah, Laurie, bummer. It is not the Highway 1. Hey, Dave, how are you doing? It's a made in Mexico that plays like an American. It plays better than my Highway 1. It plays as good as my American Deluxe. If you blindfolded me, I couldn't tell you. And somehow this week, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I dropped something. I had it laying out here, but boy, it had 0 scratches on it. Now it's got something going on there. I'm going to try to kind of buff that out a little bit. It's a 2007 made in Mexico, and it plays every bit as good as my Americans. And I'm starting to feel like it sounds every bit as good. It's just great. Yeah, so, yeah, I've got weird camera. I have to be really careful because my camera's actually on a tripod that's duct taped to the back of the laptop. So, yeah, it's just a made in Mexico Strat. It's a really good one though. I've not played it that much. When I brought it home, it didn't have that Fender sound that I wanted, and so I was playing my others all the time, and I finally decided I put it through a little tube amp, a little Champ. What's it called? The XD. I have 2 of them. I have the head and the combo. And all of a sudden it came to life, and then I put it through my AC-10, and holy moly. That's right. It was done on tour in my computer room. Yeah. I got another one, a very light one up on the horn here. I have no idea. I leave them out over here, and I don't know if I dropped something on it. I don't recall any big drop that would do that, but something scratched it. So what are people doing today? I guess we're at the 1 hour mark. Time to head out. Metalhead Hippie on at 7 p.m. tonight, West Coast time, 10 p.m. East Coast. Jimmy from Guitar Meet Science on at 3. Ben Coombs at 5. Is Dave on every Sunday, Laurie? Dave's Guitar Channel. Maybe at 6 West Coast time. Maybe. I can, when they're talking music, I can hang in there. When they start talking movies, I, I'm so not movie oriented. Football time, Gabriel. There you go. I've not seen a game all year this year just because it just. Twin 66. Good morning. I don't have my. I don't have my Google Translate up running. So anyway, folks, I think that's it for today. I hope you all have a good Christmas. I got some more Christmas videos coming out. Laurie, I took Mela Kalika Maka and turned it into a country swing instrumental that'll be out before Christmas. You'll get I hope, a kick out of that. But, you know, I mean, I'm using Band in the Box, who has, like, some really great studio cats. So, oh, Twin 66, thank you. I will take a look at your channel. I see you subbed to me. Thank you. I will take a look at your channel later. And I really like the sound you get. I don't care which guitar. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Twin 66. I'm going through an E-band today. I thought about going through the Line 6 Pod Go. Man, that thing's amazing. But we can talk about that another time. But it is, I have a lot of multi-effects pedals laying about. Nothing compares to that. Although, in the distorted stuff, I did the distorted stuff earlier, and I said, man, that sounds great. And then I plugged into the E-band, and I said, wow, that sounds exactly the same. So, good on the E-band. So we will see you all later in other people's chats, and I hope you all have a good Christmas. Hope you have a good weekend and a good holiday season. And I think it's a rough time we're going through, but I think we still have plenty to be thankful for out there. So until I see you again, thank you for coming by. Goodbye, everybody. Shout outs to Dave at Guitars Music, Nelson, Laurie, Mishhmosh, Johnny Beck down in the LA area. Yeah. Hi, sir. We're just going off. Janice back east. I'm going to forget somebody. Mark Tanner. And Tiny Dragon in, I want to say, Tennessee. Oh, and Laurie and Tiny have a live stream that they do every other week. They did it yesterday on Tiny's channel. And in 2 weeks, or maybe a change of day, I don't remember what you guys came up with. They'll go live stream. Usually in the afternoon or evening, early 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock their time, I think, on Saturdays. Johnny, we'll talk to you later. Yeah, do come by, and if you get any videos up, I think I got your feed coming through. I will see them. So everybody, have a good day. I'm sure I missed somebody out there. You all have a good one, though. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.